was a little delay. All right, now. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
What is up, people?
Good to see everybody here tonight. Awesome, awesome. So we have a guest in the house, as most of you know. Steve from My Honey's Handmade is here tonight, and we welcome him. Steve, welcome.
Hey guys, how are you?
And for anybody that is in the chat, if you have not subscribed to his channel, please do so. And if you are watching this live after it's recorded, please go subscribe to his channel.
Deland, don't fool yourself. Everybody in this channel is already subscribed to My Honey's Handmade. Come on.
Well, I'm pretty positive, but on the replay of the recording, they may not. They may not.
All right.
And believe it or not, people do watch the live replays.
Let's see, who do we got in here? We got look at Woodworking 52. That guy. Yeah. My Honey Handmade, that guy's in there. Jeff Dowdle, Amy Joe. Really? Amy Joe's in here? Holy crap. Red Prog. What's up? Tom Skaggs. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like the Carving Wizard. What's up, Carving Wizard? 77 Rockets.
Yes.
Perry. What's up, Perry?
We're just hanging out with this guy. My Honey's. I don't know. I'm just learning. Look, I'm just learning all this stuff. And Cat's piece is in there. Yeah. So, how long ago did you start your channel, Steve?
I think I started it 2 or 2.5 years ago.
Nice. And you're like, what was your last count? What was your last subscriber count?
1437 or 38. So
nice. Cool. So I went and watched a couple of your videos, and of course, they're well edited and all that good stuff that I'm struggling terribly with. So what would you say out of all your what's your worst video? What's your worst one that comes to mind? It's like, damn it, if I could do that better.
There's way too many of those. I've got over 500 videos posted. So a lot of them are just crap. But, it's me building furniture or woodworking. It's just, I didn't know how to edit. So you get better. A lot of shorts, quite a few videos. There's a lot of good nuggets in there. But I couldn't put my finger on the worst because there's a lot of them.
So I'm hoping my editing gets better. Making that intro, I finally figured out how to get rid of the background noise. So on all those videos where the saw is in the background, I think I now know how to get rid of it. So that's going to be a bonus.
Oh yeah, you're always learning something. It seems like every time you make a video, you learn something new, and you're like, oh, I need to remember to do that on the next one.
Right.
Yep. So kind of piggybacking on what Rusty asked, I'm going to ask the opposite. Kind of, do you have a favorite video that you've done, or do you have a video that you really thought was just going to go crazy and it didn't?
There's a lot of, let me answer. Honestly, I think some of my favorite videos are my lives I've done the last month, the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
The community shows up and supports you, and it's just fantastic. I've been making a lot of these boxes on the channel. So with the hand frame and power tools. So
yes, I seen that one. I really like that.
So I'm having a great time with the community. I never realized that's something new with Bearded Viking Woodworks Facebook group. I never knew there was that type of community with YouTubers. I thought that was just Instagram or Facebook. So that's been really game changer for me, supporting other makers. And they support me, and we give each other ideas and get better. So
and that's, as we were talking about backstage, that's my whole point on inviting other makers on, just because the community is so good. And you're right, Bearded Viking, his Facebook page is just fantastic with other makers and people supporting each other. And that's what I want with this channel, you know, with me and Rusty. And when Rusty gets his stuff together for him to start going lives,
Yeah.
you know,
So
I put a video out and I kind of phrased it the wrong way. I want this to be a channel or a live to where if you're a woodworker, if you sew, you know, whatever, you know, I want this to be that place for you to go, you know, or at least feel comfortable with going, knowing that you're going to be accepted and not shunned away because you're competition. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
yes.
That's, you know, and you see that on a lot of Facebook groups and YouTube. You see a lot of negative comments. You know, you might have someone that's more experienced and a beginner asks a question and gets just totally berated by the more experienced woodworker. And that's just not cool.
Yeah, no, it's not cool at all. And that's not what I want here.
Yeah, and you know, I've seen that across all genres of stuff. So like I'm part of I own a Nissan Frontier truck, so I'm part of a Nissan Frontier group on on Facebook, and it seems like somebody new comes on there and they ask a question that, you know, they really want to answer to, and guys that have been working on their trucks and stuff, and they just roast the crap out of them, and it's like, you're pushing people away. Why would you do that? But, you know, so for me and Deland, so we are both formerly of the alcoholic persuasion. So we were both in the whiskey tube. That's a real thing. There are like whiskey and bourbon tube. And this is what they do. This is what the guys, they are really a great group of people, and they go live, you know, and they'll bring other shows on and talk and get them out there. And you know, Deland was like, you know, we need to do this in the woodworking stuff. You know, we need to make a place where, you know, people can come and see other people's stuff and promote them. And, you know, it's all, we're all doing the same thing. We're all, you know, learning. We're, you know, no matter how experienced you are, you're probably going to see something somebody does that's different or whatever. And it's just a rising tide floats all boats. You know, that's just how it is. So,
yep. And hey, Steve, Amy Jo said to smile. She said you can smile.
Right.
Hey guys, this is resting bitch face. This is me happy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
I suffer from RBF, so this is just, you know, the shop is my happy place. So
yes,
awesome.
yes, Flossie. Yeah,
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something to everybody that's in chat. So, kind of going along with what we were just talking about. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't been here in a while, I make everybody a moderator. Because if you're a channel, and I don't care what kind of channel, sewing, baseball, sports cards, whatever, if you are a channel in this chat, I want you to have the ability to be able to share your own link. So if you are a channel, you have mad permission to share your links. And if somebody is not sub to you, please sub to them. So Big Country's here. I'm gonna make him a moderator.
Old Big Country. That's a personal friend of
Yep.
of ours. Flossie seems to be really interested in also Red Prog. Who said whiskey? Yeah, so let me point y'all to a great show that happens every Friday night. That is Whiskey Wisdom. That is a fun show. They play games. You can win prizes. There is quote unquote beard oil that is sent out all the time. It's illegal to send alcohol products through the mail, but there is all the time beard oil sent out through the mail for winning stuff and all that. So yeah, there's holy crap. It's a fun place. I I had to drop out of the whiskey scene for a little while because issues, but here I am in woodworking because I, need to focus my efforts other places.
So I'm going to say something to Ray G real quick because he says he's still new to woodworking. Since I don't have any space to do stuff, but it has allowed me to save up money to invest in a lot of tools. Hopefully someday,
Right.
I'll be in this chat as a woodworker. So Ray, here's what I got to say to you, Ray. I don't know where you live, but if you live anywhere that's cold, I understand because I'm in Michigan. We've got 4 inches of snow and I'm out in my garage. But you can go outside in nice weather and make something. So try not to hold yourself back because you don't have space. Go outside. Go outside, set up a couple sawhorses and a piece of plywood and get to cutting.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Delon, yesterday, a bunch of us were on a live. I've got to look up. He's a chainsaw carver. We were watching him, and him and his wife were traveling. So they were actually in a condo. He was on a 2nd or 3rd story condo with a few hand tools, and they had found some wood from walking on the beach. And he was carving away with his mallet and his chisel. He's used to chainsaws, but, he still wanted to do a live. I'll have to look him up. I forgot his name, but it was great. So same kind of thing. You only need a couple of tools, a chunk of wood, and you're woodworking. So
that's it.
That's it.
Ray, I understand Ray's problem because I'm literally working under a 10 by 10 canopy. I don't have a place, though we are aggressively looking at a shop or something because, but I look around and it's like they want $6,000 for a tent. We can build one a lot cheaper than that,
Yep.
So it's in the works. I'm gonna get something.
Yeah. Now, Joe, Woodworker's Dilemma is Joe. He mentioned the channel I was talking about was Creation Dust 777. That's the one. So thanks,
Okay.
Joe.
Awesome.
And like I said, guys, if you want to put your links to your channels in the chat,
Absolutely.
feel free to do that. And everybody, if you want to leave for a few minutes and go sub to other channels, please do that because that's really what we're here about.
Also, folks, we actually have a call-in number. You can call in and you can ask Steve anything that you want. You call this number, you'll be piped in right to the show, and you can ask anything you want. Call that number right there. We'll put you on. You can ask Steve, and you can bring up the dirt, whatever. But
Steve didn't know that part was coming.
no, he didn't know.
That wasn't in the pre-interview.
So yeah, and Woodworker's Dilemma. I have found out we are almost neighbors, and he's not far from me at all, really, and neither is Flossie, from what I understand. So
right. No, the call is free. The call is free.
The call is free. No, the call is free. Red Prog, call that number right now. Come on.
That's funny.
We're waiting. That phone's gonna ring at some point in time.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So while we wait for someone to be brave enough to call in, you do a lot of different stuff. You do wood turning, laser engraving. Like you said, you've got your box plane. You do boxes, and it just the amount of different techniques that you know is amazing when you actually sit down and start watching your videos, which I'll admit, I watched a lot of them because I wanted to do some homework for tonight. I didn't want to just be here and go, duh.
Right.
No, I mean,
Right.
I did. But what is your favorite technique and what do you like to do better? Do you like to turn? Do you like to use hand tools? What do you like to do the most? What's more relaxing for you, I guess?
Somebody ended anyway.
Probably wood turning, or lately it's been making boxes with hand tools.
Okay.
But I've done steam bending. I did a lot of lathe turning before I got my lasers about 2.5 years ago. So I used to do a lot of turning. What's cool about that, I've gotten back into it with other members in the group. You know, Joe got a lathe and some of the other guys are getting lathes. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to go back to the lathe. And it's been a blast. You know, their passion has reignited my passion for something I've done for 6 or 7 years. But I think the boxes are great for me right now. The hand tools, I'm reigniting my love for that. So I've got a lot of hand planes. I enjoy not needing to wear a respirator, no safety glasses, and no ear protection, and I'm just hand planing, you know, making something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I've watched that, and you've actually, I'm watching it for twofold. A friend of mine actually hired me to make a music box.
ooh,
The only problem I have is he wants cherry. I have a ton of cherry, but it's 3/4, and 3/4 is too thick for a box.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
do have a planer, but the problem I find with it, it's one of the nicer DeWalt planers,
Uh-huh.
but because it's in my garage, I find that the rollers don't work, so it doesn't work that well. So he's looking for some 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch cherry for me to make it.
We have a caller. Caller, state your name, where you're calling from. No, they hung up.
They got stage fright.
They got stage fright.
They didn't know that you would actually hear them.
That's
Right?
funny.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll be piped right in. Call that number. You'll be piped right into the show. Amy Joe, call that number.
That's hilarious.
But all right. Sorry to interrupt. Y'all go ahead.
No, that's all right. So
So I didn't know if you know, this is my full-time profession.
Nice.
So for the last 3 years, I build custom furniture, woodworking, and laser engraving. So
nice.
I run an Etsy shop. I mean, it's been a feast or famine thing. The last year's gotten a lot better, and but I do craft shows throughout the year as well. So, you know, it keeps me entertained.
Yeah. So I just started an Etsy shop right around the time I started this channel.
Yeah.
And Etsy's tough. I don't think the stuff I have on there is bad, but it's hard to make sales on there.
It really is. I've been doing it, I think, about 1.5 years, and I'm a member of a paid Facebook group that they show you how to improve your listings. It's a whole search engine optimization and keywords and tags and descriptions. It's the way you write that and take good pictures.
Gotcha.
The last year, that's made a big difference for me, and I get more visibility for that. But it's still, you know, kind of up and down, but it's something. So.
Yeah. So it's kind of like YouTube then, in a sense, because you know the optimization, the tags, the good title, the description.
Oh yeah.
You know, everything is good. I think also my problem is I don't really push it on people. And I don't push it on my Facebook page. Just kind of let it go as it goes. Like I've got the Buy Me a Coffee link up, and I know I just mentioned it, but I don't push that. If people see it and they want to donate, cool. If not, you know, oh well. I'm in this for the fun.
We have a caller. Caller, state your name, where you're calling from.
This is Amy Joe from Eastern Colorado.
Yes,
nice.
Amy Joe from Colorado. What is up?
I don't even know what to ask y'all.
Well, you're asking Steve and My Honey's Handmade. I'm sure you can come up with something.
So, okay. So I'm going to say something so you can figure out what to ask.
There you go.
I love your Dremel carving. Rusty told me about you a few days ago.
Yep.
And I've seen you in chats, but I've never realized that you had a channel. And I try to subscribe to as many people as I possibly can. And when he told me about you, I was like, well, I'm going to look her up. And then seeing like your bald eagle and your
that was amazing.
the I forgot what you call them, but they're like the little guys that you carved into the wood, wizards or wood spirits. Yes, man, that's awesome.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome work.
Well, if you do watch my channel, you know I'm a very awkward and shy person. So, yeah. And this is weird.
No, it's not weird. It's all good. It's all good. Amy Jo is a rock star, says Cat's Piece.
Yes,
Boom.
very much so.
I appreciate it. Okay, my question, I guess, is what's Steve's favorite? Well, I think we already asked that. What's his favorite piece that he's done?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing that you have done?
Oh, made a dining. Well, no, that's not the funnest. I just made money on it. Man, that's a tough question. You know, it's kind of like I think some of the other makers. You know, you put your heart and soul into making something, and then you sell it or give it as a gift, and it kind of goes away, and then you know, have some anxiety, separation anxiety. I don't know. I've done a lot the last 3 years, especially. Man, I'm looking around the shop. I'm like, I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, I think all of my pieces are that I make, other than furniture, are my favorites. You know,
Yeah, at the time. Yeah.
I mean, you turn a mallet on the lathe, and right at that moment, that's the best thing you ever made. You know, it's a fun.
Right.
I don't know how to answer that because I mean, I get excited for a lot of different projects. I have, you know, my house is in every room. I've built something, if not most of the furniture in the house. So it's kind of neat to see your creations, you know, in your house. So
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Okay, cool beans. Okay,
thanks
bye.
for that question.
Okay,
Intel.
I love her
Hey,
video.
she did it. Okay, bye.
Yeah, she'll be talking and she'll be carving, and then she'll be like, "All right, that's it, bye," and then boom, the video's
Oh, yeah.
done.
Yep.
It's like her tagline. She should copyright that. Okay, bye, and then put that on shirts.
We got another caller.
Uh-oh.
Caller, state your name. Where you calling from?
Add a dab of glue.
At a dab of glue. No way.
It is, yes way.
Holy
What?
cow.
The bearded Viking? Really?
The myth, the man, the legend.
Wow, I feel special.
Today's video is sponsored by nobody.
Yeah.
Ain't sponsored by nobody. Nice.
Daniel's in the house.
Daniel.
I was gonna comment, but I was like, you know what? I got a phone. Let me call these folks.
Yep. Dang it.
So
I gotta get his.
How's that one doing? I see Steve. I see Deland. Who's this guy with the hat? I like the hat.
I am Rusty, Professor Rusty, and I wished I had a good shop, but you know I'm pretty much working in my front yard right now. But you know we're working on that situation. So
I know that's right. You got to do with what you got.
that's right.
yep.
That's it.
So since you've been the inspiration to a ton of different woodworking channels and shows and people, and really I'm going to say you're the inspiration for a lot of people to get into woodworking. Daniel, what would be one of your favorite projects that you've made?
Well, besides the jewelry boxes, I would say I made a paltry bench, and it had storage underneath where what looked like the shaker runner going across was a drawer that would pull out, and it had a funny little tab under it where it would release the magnet and it would spring open, and you could put your gun in there or whatever, whatnot. But it was a prototype that I gave to my mom, and now I'm like, dang it, man, I want that thing back.
Nice.
Mom has all my old stuff when I first started. Her house is full of my old woodworking projects.
Awesome. So I'm gonna have to say one of my favorite pieces that I've made, we still have, and my wife loves to bake. So she wanted It's basically a movable island with a butcher block top, but she wanted storage in it. So I made this cabinet that you could roll. It's got 2 front doors on it. It's got side windows, so it's decorative. And she puts all of her baking pots and pans and mixers and stuff in that. And when she wants to bake, she just rolls it away from the wall. When you go out of our great room into the kitchen, there's a step there. So it's just about perfect enough to where when it rolls up to that step, she's high enough to like do the dough and the crust and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite pieces I've done. And you know, I've done quite a few things. I made my son's ex-girlfriend when they were in college a table for their dorm and stuff like that. So yeah, it's what you needed at the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let some other callers call in. I just wanted to support the channel and show some love to y'all. Keep doing your thing.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel.
We'll be in touch. Thanks, guys.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that's cool.
I was not expecting that, and
No,
that was
now
cool.
my phone setup is not the greatest. I know his volume was kind of low. I was trying to figure out if I could turn it up, but it's weird. It's a weird setup, but hopefully everybody could hear him.
Awesome. Yes, Jay, a call from the man himself. That was awesome. And if anybody isn't subbed to the Bearded Viking, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing it. Go sub to the Bearded Viking. Awesome.
Yep. And definitely sub to Steve's My Honey's Handmade.
Yes.
I mean, of course, everybody is already. So whatever.
Yep.
Whatever.
It all helps.
It all helps. 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. It all matters.
Oh yeah.
So is anybody else going to be brave enough to call in? I mean, Amy Joe did it. So I mean, you guys can call in.
Amy, Joe, and Daniel. I mean,
Yeah.
Now, have you guys actually got a phone call on the show before?
No. So this is my off track. This is actually my off track phone, and we do get callers. But
Okay.
I was like, hey, well, because we use StreamYard as well, and I was like, Delan's like, hey, you want to use your phone? I was like, yeah, let's try to. So we're groundbreaking right here. We're groundbreaking in woodworking. We have call in. So
Yeah. And when we had our bourbon channels,
yeah,
I would go live on Saturday nights and we would sit around, have a couple cocktails. But the funny thing is with the bourbon channel is that phone would get really way out of hand. So you mix a call-in phone and bourbon, it's not a good time. But no, it's a fun time. It is.
Hey, Rick, thanks for joining. Rick
Yeah,
Smith.
I want to try and go through and say hello to everybody in chat. I have not had a second to do that. So Kevin, it's good to see you. Rhinestone Susan, thank you for being here. Amy Joe, thank you. Cat's Peace, thank you. Rick, Last Breath Woodworks, Jay Creates. I know Jeff, my brother, is here. The
David
Curving Wizard.
Duffin. Old Path is in there. What is up, Old Path?
Flossie and Old Path. Yes, I'm trying to see C-Dubs. C-Dubs here. Cool. Trying to scroll up, seeing if I miss anybody. Red Prog.
Keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Harry the Carving Wizard.
The Carving Wizard.
Yeah, so if I missed anybody, I apologize. Thank you for being here. It truly is appreciated.
Absolutely.
And if anybody wants to call in, you guys are more than welcome to call in. Or if you guys are brave enough to come on stream.
Yeah. Delan's going to post the link, and you can jump on screen here with us.
Yes, I am right now.
Who is brave enough to jump in here with My Honey's Handmade? I mean, some big shoes to fill right next to him.
Not that scary.
No, he was talking about me being fat.
Well, that too.
All right, so the link is posted. If anybody would like to jump in on screen, Woodworking 52. Yes, I missed you.
Didn't Woodworking? Didn't he? Wasn't he the winner?
He was, and I was just gonna say, did you get my email? Pythons. That's right. Did you get my email? Your package is in the mail. You should have a tracking number. So hopefully before next week, you should have a brand new, a one-time used pocket hole jig kit. That's a lot to say.
We got somebody in the background. Here we go. C-Dub.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Can't complain. It's beautiful. 58 degrees in California.
We're getting a call. Caller, state your name, where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Rick Smith, and I just met Steve online a couple days ago, and I'm just getting ready to send him a check in the mail tomorrow morning for a wooden mallet he's going to make.
Ah, the wooden mallet. He's showing it right there. Yeah, that is a nice one, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd like to give a shout out to Kate and to Amy Joe. I follow them on their channels, and also we're on some other channels together.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, you're following some really good channels.
Oh, so absolutely.
Yep. Once again, anybody that's in chat, and I think Kate's been blasting out some links. Please put your links in the chat. And if you haven't subscribed to any of these channels, please go to those channels and give them a subscribe, because they are all very much worth it. Some of the work that you see will just blow you away. So please do that. C-Dub, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
You know what? Not bad. I'm very happy with the way this has gone tonight. And I think it's a good time, and I appreciate everybody. And it's good to be alive. It's good to be alive.
Yeah, I agree.
And I haven't broke a coffee cup yet. So if you were here on the live stream where I smashed a cup,
yeah,
that's a bonus.
And
Consider coffee abuse.
Coffee abuse, yeah.
Coffee abuse.
But so most people don't know, I actually live inside of a Waffle House. I don't know, not everybody has Waffle Houses, and you should, but so I need coffee and scattered, smothered, and covered. Where are you going? I don't. The wait staff here is terrible sometimes.
But see, the funny thing is about the wait staff. There it is. There it was. You guys missed it. Sometimes the wait staff fights back and hits him with a ruler.
Kind of like the wait staff.
Where's my dinner? Where's my dinner, woman? Jeez.
It's not working out too well.
Wait a minute. No, what? Not the. No, don't. I'm just,
I'll tell you, this is a great community.
I'm abused. I'm an abused.
You are not. You asked for it. You freaking begged for it.
I am so abused. Don't be telling all my secrets.
That's a different show. That's a different show.
He secretly tells her, when we're 35 minutes into the show, just come in and whack me.
When you start yelling at the wait staff, he needs a good smack.
No. Anyway.
Yep. So cool. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some more coffee because I'm out. Be right back.
You're supposed to bring the coffee with you. Jeez. All right. So C-Dub, what's your latest creations?
The last thing I did was back in September. I carved a spoon out of pistachio wood, and then I haven't done anything since then. I actually went in, had surgery, had 2 toes amputated, and then
Oh.
in November they did a below the knee amputation on the same leg. So they took about half my leg, my foot, and ankle. And I just posted a video, 3 videos, as a matter of fact, on Tuesday.
I watched it.
Showing my first step to prosthetic.
Yep, I watched it. So you've got the sugars, as you know, some people. Yeah. I got the sugars, and yeah, I do too. But I've caught it early, and I'm trying to keep my health up there. Yeah. But it's a thing that you start losing appendages.
Yep, and this last thing happened because I was taking my socks off, not paying attention, and I ripped a toenail out, and that's what got the whole ball rolling on this leg.
Right.
I got a staph infection, or not a staph infection, but I got septic, and I thought I could doctor it myself, and didn't take care of it, and then it turned around and bit me.
Well, it was. I don't mean to interrupt, but it was really inspiring watching you.
Yeah.
Take your first steps again, and for you to put it out there in the public like that. It's got to be inspiring for someone. So I applaud you for that, and I was really inspired watching that video.
Yeah, I watched it as well. Yep.
I appreciate that. I had somebody that's on my channel. They told me, nobody cares about that stuff or what's going on with you health wise. They want to see woodworking or the stories of your baby rabbits and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you know what? It's my channel. This is helping me heal. So I'm going to do what I want. And if I lose viewers, I think I've got 105 viewers right now. And if I lose some viewers, so be it. But who knows? I might help somebody, but I'm helping myself, and nobody's going to help me but me.
So I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not going to say we're in the same boat, because we're not. I mean, you lost part of your leg. That's a completely different level of stuff. But I understand what you're saying, because I put a video out of last week about why I got into YouTube and woodworking. And it's for the last couple of years, I have had anxiety and depression really bad. And over Christmas, before Christmas, I got into a really, really, really dark place. I was medically off of work, and it was just not good. And I realized sitting around was making it worse. So I decided, no matter how cold it was, I was going to get into the shop. I was going to start building stuff. And just to try to get my mind focused onto something else other than the depression and the anxiety. And then that's when I started thinking about, I've always thought about doing a woodworking YouTube, especially when we were doing the bourbon channel. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw a couple videos out there and see what happens. If anything, it's just for me to look back at the things I've made. So I understand where you're saying it's kind of therapeutic.
Yes.
But one thing I do want to say is that's your channel.
Exactly.
You put on that channel what you want. That is your legacy in a sense. Don't let anybody say, it's a woodworking channel. Nobody wants to see that. Yes, we do. And to be honest with you, when I was watching that video, I was in the background going, yes, and I was cheering you on. So when I was typing in the comments, I was in the background going, yes. So do what you want on your channel.
Well, see, I've been thinking about it, and I talked to some guys about it. And what actually made me decide to put that on was your video talking about your circumstance, right after your last live stream where you gave away the pocket hole jig. And I saw that and I thought, you know what? It's time I put it out there.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Sorry. We got kind of hung up there, buddy.
Not a problem.
Yeah, go ahead and talk to him on the phone. I got to say bye to my wife and daughter. They're both taking off to go babysitting. And so I'm going to get off. It's a blessing being here. And you all have a great day and look forward to the next live and some more of your videos.
Thanks,
Awesome.
C-Dub.
Thank
All
you.
right, C-Dub. Thank you, buddy.
All right, you
Can
take care.
Can somebody in the chat share C-Dub's channel? If anybody knows it, please. Amy Jo, you are always our people.
Heck yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Looky here. Holy crap.
What?
It's that one guy. It's that one guy. Heck yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Looky here. Holy crap.
Oh,
What? It's that one guy.
what is going on here?
You know what? This is my Christmas. This is my Christmas.
too, man. Wait a
That's
minute, not
awesome.
quite Christmas yet. Here we go. Now it's Christmas.
I don't know if I should give you a through the screen hug or ask for your autograph or
No, Deland, don't make it weird, man. Don't make it weird. He just showed up.
Where do we get those buttons?
I don't know. People send them to me.
Nice.
Mm.
yeah,
Anyway,
that button is awesome.
Ain't it? I like this one the best.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
What are y'all up to, man? I just felt like crashing the party.
We're glad you crashed the party, and we're having a blast. I am having a really good time on this live.
Hell yeah,
But-
man.
I will ask you a question now, sir, since you're here. At what point in time did you realize that Add a Dab of Glue was going to be such a huge hit to where you had to make a song for it?
I don't know, man. Like, I said it a few times, and then that song I downloaded off of Epidemic Sound, and it just kind of happened as I was editing through the video, and the song started playing, and I was like, Add a Dab of Glue, and it just happened. I don't know. I didn't expect it to be anything,
Because
to be honest.
it is addicting. I mean, when you're on the videos and you're like, Add a Dab of Glue, you're in the background going, Add a Dab of Glue. And do you know how hard it is when I'm gluing up a project not to say I'm going to add a dab of glue?
But that's okay. Like, do it. Like, I don't keep everything to myself, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm getting hollered at. Sorry.
All right,
Steve,
we got to
what are
get
you
back to
doing?
Steve. We kind of lost Steve there in all the excitement.
I know it.
It's all good.
Sorry, Steve.
Oh, you're good, Daniel.
So, Steve, do you have any questions? I mean, we've been peppering you with questions all night. Do you have any questions that you want to ask?
What got you guys into woodworking?
Watching you guys. Yeah. So I've always had a creative side, and I love, making stuff. And I don't know, I was just flipping through YouTube, and I got on this, making a coffee table thing, and it starts throwing up all kinds of stuff, and I watched probably everybody a few times over, just making stuff, and I'm like, damn it, I can do that. I can, which is kind of I don't know what that's called, kind of preposterous to think, well, I can just do that. But I can half-ass nail what. Well, so the wife and I, we made our own camper a few years back, and
It's a cool camper too. It really is.
Yeah,
My
we
wife
made
wants to do that.
the little teardrop deal,
Mhm.
and I researched the hell out of it, and we figured out the different things to do, and we did that, and so we still go out 2 or 3 times a year and camp and anything you can think of, there's a community for it. So there's a teardrop community, there's a whiskey community, there's a woodworking community. I mean, there's a RC car. I was in the RC cars for a while. There's that community. And I jumped into that community and I learned everything that I could, and we made our own, and we've been all over the Southeast in a bunch of camping deals. So yeah, it's a I just love the creative aspect of it, and unfortunately for me, my trouble is being able to when I get focused on making something, I'm not thinking about trying to make a video, because it messes with me, and I have to learn that. I have to learn, like, okay, wait, you need to video this, and do this, but then it feels like it breaks my train of thought, because I get so focused in on something, and I got to learn to do that, to be able to video it, and so I don't know. Anyway, that's
So
my story.
for me, I'll go really quick. It's something that I've always wanted to do. So about 9 or 10 years ago, I just started piddling around, making little things here, making little things there. My wife wanted some shutters for the front of the house, so it was really making a picket fence that would hang on the house, and then it just grew from there. I got out of it for about a year or two, and as I was talking about earlier with my depression and my anxiety, and this is the honest to God truth. While I was off and stuck in the YouTube rabbit hole, watching Daniel's videos and watching just his love come off on screen really gave me the encouragement to get back out into the shop. And that is the honest to God truth. So I will always appreciate him for that. I've also watched Matthew Peach's videos, but yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna keep going. I'm just glad I finally got to say that. So
Well,
yeah, cool.
Well, now, Daniel, how'd you get into woodworking?
Well, I think most people know, but I build houses for a living,
Right.
and I built this shop here really to be like a shed. And soon after I finished building it, I got a job where they wanted butcher block countertops. And I was left with a whole bunch of white oak butcher block top cutoffs. And I didn't know what to do with them. And so I've always kind of watched woodworking, but never really thought about doing it, And I had some tools, but I didn't really have the shop completely set up. So at the time, my shop was full of lawn stuff, wood from framing jobs, a bunch of big job site tools. So I set up under my house, and I framed in under my house a little room that I could, kind of mess around and piddle around in, and started watching more YouTube videos. And it just started from there. That was about, I'd say 8 years ago.
Yep.
So
I'll go and answer that question as well. I did IT for 22 years, so really stressful job. I would get woken up in the middle of the night a lot. So that's kind of what led me to chase this. 7 or 8 years ago, I used to go around and find pallets around town, and my first piece of furniture was my son's end table in his bedroom made out of pallets. We remade that a couple of years ago, and it's a lot different wood. But, it was amazing for me to, in IT, it's always stressful. You're working because everything's broke. And, I started watching a lot of YouTube and reading a lot of woodworking books. And I bought a couple of hand ads for carving bowls from Lithuania, and started carving stuff. And it was really amazing to be able to go out in the shop and make an item, make something beautiful. And, I started harvesting my own wood with different trees and
Nice.
wood turning. I mean, I still think it's just amazing to take a piece of wood and make something that's beautiful and something that people can use in their daily life or for a special occasion. I still find that really rewarding. So
It is very satisfying.
So one of my, you just brought up a really great memory for me. When I first got into woodworking, one of my favorite things to do was to rip pallets apart and make things with pallets.
yeah,
And my first really big pallet project is a table that we actually still have in the house to this day, and it's a herringbone pattern.
oh yeah,
And you can tell it's made out of pallets, but it has that rustic, unique look to it that is just, we love it. My wife keeps plants and flowers and stuff on it now.
yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, you can make some really good stuff out of pallets.
I used to sell a lot of end tables and coffee tables with pallet wood. Same kind of thing with the pattern. I liked it, but
Yeah.
they were really cool patterns, and it was free wood other than the labor, But it was great. You can get some nice pallets too. That
Oh,
wood,
yeah.
you start throwing it through a planer. That's a whole new world when you get a planer and you got this old greasy board and you run it through the planer and it's beautiful
Yeah.
oak or cherry, So
Yep. My aunt died a few years ago, and my cousin, two things. She had a piano bench that was my aunt's when she was a kid. So we estimated it to be about 90 to 100 years old.
oh wow.
And it was falling apart. Well, my cousin, she said, I used to sit on this bench and play piano when I was a kid. She goes, can you do anything with it? And I'm like, well, I can't screw it up any more than it is now. So at least, I'll try. So I dismantled this bench, excuse me, fixed all of the joints, put it back together, and put a new top and a bottom on it because the bottom had fallen out and the top was just wonka and cracked. And she ended up reupholstering a seat to it. And we ended up getting that almost 100-year-old piano bench put back together.
That's awesome.
Now, the other one that I really enjoyed was when we were cleaning out my aunt's garage, we found some wood. It was like crate wood, but it had my uncle, her dad's companies. It still had the shipping label on this wood from his work where he retired from. So she asked me if I wanted it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it because that's like old wood. That's not new wood. It was old wood. Well, I ended up bringing it home, getting the label off of it, threw that wood through my planer, cleaning it up really nice, and I made her a keepsake box out of that piece of wood, and I put the shipping label on the inside. So now she has that displayed in her house, and she puts candy in it for her grandkids, and she really appreciated that. So that's the kind of stuff I like doing with the woodworking. Sometimes it's not always about the money. It's
Right.
about the memories,
Mhm.
and that's cool.
I know. Yeah, I have my. I'll go ahead. Were you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 years ago when I had my shop built, a customer reached out. She had rough sawn wood planks or slabs from her childhood tree from her backyard.
Wow.
It had already been dry cured and everything. And this is when the shop was just built, so I didn't have a lot of stuff. And I made power carved a bench for her sister out of it. And that was made from their childhood tree. I mean, and I made different gifts for different members of the family from that wood. That was pretty neat. Something with a
Nice.
story. And just like, some of the things you made, that's got a story in the family that has a special place in people's lives, So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in over here with some woodworking industry news. Scientists have made glow-in-the-dark balsa wood. In St. Gallen, Switzerland, a team led by fungal researcher Francis Schwartz out of the EMPA Cellulose and Wood Materials Lab is currently pursuing another idea for a new type of composite material based on hardwood, luminous wood. In addition to applications in technical fields, the luminous wood could be processed into designer furniture or jewelry. The idea behind their research is that hardwood should be used several times before it ends up as firewood, releasing the previously bound CO2 back into the atmosphere, which impacts climate change. However, hardwood is still too often used only for heating. Around 12% of Swiss homes use firewood as a primary fuel source. Innovative ideas for more sustainable cascade use as whatever, I don't, blah, blah, blah. One possibility is to equip the natural material with new properties and transfer it into magnetic, waterproof, or electricity generating wood, for instance, to elongate the usage. The glowing wood has been achieved due to a honey fungus, a pathogen that it causes white rot in trees. Some species produce a natural substance, luciferin, which is stimulated to glow in a two-stage enzymatic process. So let me ask you guys, have you ever been in a hardwood forest at night? Honest to God, we were camping and it was pitch freaking black, and the moss or whatever was growing on the trees was glow in the dark. It was green.
Mm-hmm.
It was glowing green. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what's going on? I'm like in some sort of like time warp or weird. It was glowing green. Yep. I couldn't freaking believe it. So I'm wondering if they're not, tapping into that or what's going on. But yeah, it's crazy. Nature is crazier than reality, or it is reality, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I've seen glow in the dark hardwood trees. It's crazy.
So I want to point out real quick.
Something funny.
I want to point out real quick and say hi. The Whacking Shack is in chat. So hello, sir. Thank you for being here.
Whack.
What's up, Mike?
The Whacking Shack.
That's just the best name ever.
Yeah, too many mushrooms, said Rick Smith. That's right.
All right.
So where did you come up with that, Rusty?
In woodworking technology. Yeah, I looked up, and we also have 10 facts every woodworker should know. Do we want to hear that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 10. The creation of new fine dust called frass and the 1/16 holes in dry wood indicate lysid powder post beetle activity. To establish how woodworking got infected with this powder post beetle, you should ask yourself, where was the lumber 10 to 12 months prior to the first evidence? So I guess, so down here in Alabama, a lot of stuff is cut down because of beetle activity, and that it is killing the forest. So they go in and they clear cut a lot of areas to get rid of the beetles that kill the trees. Number 9, it is virtually impossible to create new checks in dry wood. Any checks seen or old checks that have reopened? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Anyway, number 8, all warp is fundamentally caused by grain angle vibrations in the tree, by the way the sawmill sawed the lumber, or by the way the manufacturing plant cut the lumber. Even with these errors in the lumber, before we begin processing, it still takes something, MC change, to cause a side. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Moisture content change, MC change.
Oh, okay. There, okay.
Content.
Yeah, that's
There
moisture
you go.
content.
Number 7, many moisture content checks are incorrect because the operator did not follow the proper procedures. When properly operated, moisture content values are within 0.5% of the true reading. Thickness and correct species density are extremely important for precise moisture content readings. I don't know. Number 6.
I'm going to ask a question real quick.
Okay.
Red Prog, you said they don't cut down bark beetle infested trees in California. Do you know why? Do you know why they don't do that? I don't know. So, all right, go ahead, Rusty. Just gonna see if you can put that in the chat.
I don't either. Let's see. Number 6. If wood is drying and shrinking, but then is exposed to higher humidity, it swells. But there is about a 5% RH gain before any moisture content change in size occurs. There is a similar dead zone when humidity drops after a gain. Also, this swelling is less than expected due to hysteresis. I can't. Big words with Rusty Lugnut. Overall, this is why the 6.8 moisture content target will produce more stable wood when in service. I don't know what any of this means. The ideal moisture content for woodworking is in almost all cases because humidity in a home or office is on average between 30 relative humidity and 50% relative, is 6.8 with maximum variation from piece to piece of plus to minus 0.9.
Hey, Amy Joe, don't worry. I'm not smart enough to understand any of this either.
Me neither.
All right, so let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. This is way above my.
Yeah,
pay
and
grade.
you know, most of this, when you build hardwood furniture, this does come into play with larger pieces of furniture.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So smaller stuff, I wouldn't, have any issue with any of that.
Well, gang, I got to hop off of here. I just want to pop in, say
Thanks,
hello.
Daniel.
Thank
Good
you,
seeing
sir. I
you.
Y'all
appreciate
having
you
me.
being here.
Be good. I'll see y'all soon.
All righty, have a good night.
All righty.
See ya.
So I want to be respectful to everybody's time. We'll probably stay on if Steve is good for another 20 minutes or so and then call the show.
Sure, man.
All right, cool. Does anybody else want to join in live on screen or on the phone? And if you guys have any questions, I am looking at the chat now. Put some questions in real quick and we'll try and get them answered.
It looks like Ole Makes jumped in there. What's up, Ole? Ole? I keep calling him Ole. Like
Ollie? I think it's Ollie.
Ollie? Okay. Why doesn't he spell it normal?
Yeah, it's not Olay, it's Ollie, I believe.
Ollie. Okay. Whatever.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
Josh Fritz.
Yes, sir.
That's one of our whiskey tube guys.
Oh, nice.
We've seen him a lot over there.
Hey, Josh,
Ole.
you know you want to make a phone call or join the live. Come on, man.
Right?
And
you might have to put on some clothes, but
come on, Old Path. Jump in here, buddy.
yeah, come on in, Old Path. You're welcome. You made the intro, so you're more than welcome to be in here.
That's right. Ole. Okay.
I'm the hostess with the
Ole.
mostest.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Thank you.
what's that?
Woodworker Dilemma said Delana is the hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
But you know, I have to say, I couldn't do this without Rusty. Rusty is my yin and yang, and we go so well together that I know when I'm by myself, it's such a lesser show. So while I may be the hostess with the mostest, my right-hand man over here is also...
Carving Wizard has a legitimate question. What saw blade should I get for my table saw? It takes 8 1/4 blade that it will make better cuts.
Hey, Perry, let me ask you a question, Perry. What kind of table saw do you have?
Like there's different kinds?
What's
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Table,
Well,
there's different
you
kinds.
It depends what kind of saw you have. If you have a job site saw, you have a smaller motor, so you might want to run a thin kerf blade so it doesn't work the motor as hard. So
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And Troy from Baker Drinks is in the house. How
What?
you doing, Troy?
Troy from Baker Drinks. Hey, y'all, that's another, if you're into the whiskey tube stuff, Baker Drinks over on Whiskey Tube, good people right there. Troy and
And-
Laura over on Baker Drinks. I love them. They are really good people. Holy crap.
But Troy from Baker Drinks, I've kind of talked to him a little bit. He actually does woodworking.
He does.
And I'm trying to get him to make a channel for himself, and he does some really cool stuff. So
Yeah.
There we go. Old path. You got to kill your sound, buddy. You're feeding back on us.
Alan, turn your sound down, man.
There you go.
Okay.
With regards to table saw blades, make sure whatever blade you choose, the kerf is not smaller than the riving knife, or you will have difficulty ripping material.
Yep.
I guess explain that to us, Steve.
Well, yeah, so I could take you over to my table saw. Let me show you.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to answer this question. Ray goes, what's your guys' opinion on CNC woodworking? I was maybe looking to invest in one also. It's woodworking. It's woodworking. It's just a different form of woodworking. You do have to program the machine. The machine does a lot of the work, but like everything in technology, it's taking over. So I have never used a CNC. Maybe somebody that has could answer that better, but
all right,
it's still woodworking.
All right, Steve is ready. That's the riving knife.
So this is the riving knife. So what that does, let me get some of this crap off my saw. So when you're feeding some wood through, it keeps, when it hits this riving knife, it keeps the wood separated so it doesn't want to kick back at you.
Gotcha.
So it's a big safety feature. If you don't have that, you should get one. They also have aftermarket versions that just sit in your zero clearance insert. So,
okay.
But
so Bourbon Hunter Lee asks, if you was going to buy a tool or machine, which one would you say don't go cheap on? Oh, and hello. So that's a good question.
That is a great question.
I've never had one, but I would have to say maybe a laser engraver or a CNC machine. It just depends on where you're at. I mean, I've got all Ryobi routers and miter saw. I've got an old 30-year-old Craftsman table saw.
Yeah. Steve, point your camera up a little bit. It's far down.
Yeah. But I mean, I would probably say one of those machines, because I think the better that you get, the more quality and the faster you'll be able to pump stuff out.
There you go. That'll be good.
Yeah, I would agree. What Ellen said is it kind of depends on where you're at in your journey. If you're a hobbyist, I wouldn't go spend thousands of dollars on a piece of equipment necessarily, but I wouldn't skimp on the table saw if you're using it several times a week.
All right, Red Prog's out of here. Whatever, Red Prog. Whatever.
Have a good night, Red Prog. Thanks for being here.
Prog. Now, Ray, I just caught Ray's question about what's your opinion on CNC woodworking.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it myself.
No, I've got a friend that's what he does part-time. He keeps pretty busy with it. He can create a lot of items for other people.
Yeah.
So it just depends what you're wanting to make with it. If you're wanting to do it as a business or a hobby.
Right.
And
I hate to be in here and just taking up space, but y'all are replaying over and over and over.
What's up,
what do you
Alan?
mean? Refresh your screen.
Y'all are overdubbing. It'll play a little bit, If I do, won't it boot me out?
I don't think so.
Is anybody else having a problem hearing us?
Yeah, Josh says sounds fine here. Last breath Woodworks.
Yep.
So my recent well, today actually I just purchased I got my first router today.
Cool.
And of course it wasn't a big fancy one. It's a corded one because I can't afford the battery operated stuff. So the battery operated stuff, does it seem like they last as long, as you want them to, or would you rather have a corded version if you're going to be doing like a lot? Do you just use the battery operated for small stuff, or it just seems like battery stuff dies out quick to me?
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've got firsthand experience. I just finished a client order this week for 104 of these solid cherry plaques.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Let me solo you.
Yeah.
I gotta get to that.
I got it.
All right.
There we go. Go ahead.
And now this is I engraved it and added color to it. That's what my video is on this week, Saturday, when I drop it. It's how to add color to your laser engravings. But, I have a rigid palm router, which is the cordless router, small router. And I have the, that went out about a year ago. So I bought a Ryobi cordless router probably 8 months ago. When I was doing this job, the rigid would not cut a round over on the wood. It just isn't powerful enough anymore for some reason. And then the Ryobi wouldn't start. So I actually went to Harbor Freight. This is like 3 weeks ago, and I bought a corded $65 router. I'm going to drop a video on that next week. I freaking love it. That thing is a beast. And that's the thing, because I'm doing this all the time, right? When I use the corded or the cordless, like if I'm doing a table and I'm wanting to route a profile on a table and it's hardwood like oak, maple, it's not pine, I'll have to have 2 batteries for the cordless to make it happen.
There you go.
I would recommend just if you just need to route something over every once in a while, a cordless is fine. But like you said, they're expensive. And
yeah,
I like the corded. It's just you gotta, people don't like the cords.
Yeah, you gotta cord management is a thing. Like you'll be midway through a cut on something and the cord will get hung up and then you gotta read. So yeah.
But I would recommend, and I'm gonna do kind of a review, kind of how I made a laser base for that Harbor Freight router, but I would recommend it. I think I did at least 75 or 80 plaques with it. So I put it through the paces.
And was that before you had to charge the battery, or?
Well, no, that was the corded. I bought the corded.
That was corded.
There you go. Yeah.
Because my 2 cordless weren't getting it done. One of them wouldn't start. So.
Yeah. See, I think Flossie said the batteries are expensive for those.
Oh yeah.
Plus, here's the thing that makes me nervous. I know a lot of people who have had those lithium-ion batteries, and they start fires if you leave them plugged in.
Yeah.
I actually know 2 or 3 people who's had house fires because of that. So for that, it makes me nervous. And you had mentioned, like the harder woods.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the corded has more power to be able to go through those harder woods.
It absolutely does. What I found, I would have to do, if I'm doing like this is an OG profile, so it's got a little round over and it's got that little edge, so it's called an OG.
Yeah, hold on.
When I would do that with the cordless, I would have to only use it, put about half of a cut, run it around the table, and then lower the bit a little bit more. Does that make sense? So I have to do it in 2 passes, but with that corded version, I was able to do it in one pass, no problem. So I would definitely recommend the corded for that reason. And
So
yeah,
coming back to what you wouldn't go cheap on, I'm gonna take back one of my statements, and I'm gonna say probably a router table. Just because I love my Ryobi, it's done great for everything I need. But sometimes I don't want to use just the 1/4-inch bits, and I think I can only go up to 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch on that.
yeah,
And sometimes when you go into the harder wood, it does struggle. And you're right, you've got to take like a 1/4 cut at a time, or else it burns out the wood.
exactly.
So if you're gonna do a lot of routing, I would say that's one spot that I wouldn't cheap out on. So you can go with the 1/2 inch bits and stuff.
I agree with you there. I forget the brand. I bought the Lowe's router table like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was like $200. And now I really would like a lot better router table, but they're pretty expensive.
Yes.
They're not cheap. So I kind of think I'd love to have a table saw with the router
Hey guys,
built in.
this ain't working. I'm gonna ease on out.
Hey,
All right. All right.
All right. Thanks for jumping in, Old Path. If you can hear us.
Sorry I couldn't be of any help tonight.
No, you're good. Thank you for being here.
We'll get it figured out, buddy.
All right. See y'all.
See ya.
All right.
Anyway, so we don't want to keep Steve too long. We've been on for a while now.
Yeah, I figure about 13 more minutes. We'll call it a night, and that'll be 9 o'clock my time. Yep. And if Steve needs to jump out, he's more than welcome to jump out. But yeah, I think we'll call it in about 10 or 13 minutes. So does anybody else want to jump on screen or call in before we close the night out? And I just want to say I appreciate everybody that's been here tonight. I appreciate Steve for coming on with us.
Absolutely.
I've had a great time tonight. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, you're welcome anytime.
Absolutely.
Everybody's welcome. They just have to get brave enough to click the link.
That's right. That's right.
Jay Creates goes, it's been fun. Cool. I'm glad you guys have a good time.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta get up at 4 a.m. my time. That's fun.
Early.
Yeah.
So Amy Joe, I've got to ask a question. Amy Joe, are you ready to come on next week and be our next guest?
Yeah, there you go, Amy Joe. So wait, we need to throw this out there. So we did this on Thursday. We're thinking that we may move to Wednesdays. I don't know how many people are on Wednesdays, but so I have another show that I do called Beaver After Dark, and it's not family friendly, it's not work friendly, it's not none of that. But so luckily that show wasn't on tonight, and I was able to join. But I am contractually obligated, kind of, sorta, with that show. So we're gonna move to Wednesdays, and you're gonna switch. What you're thinking about the same time or what, Deland?
Yeah, thinking about the same time on Wednesday is probably 7:30. Yep. So Amy Joe, your comment. I'm like camera shy, right?
She is.
So
whatever.
There is never a better time to get over your shyness.
That's
with
it.
Family. And we're all family.
A lot of bigger shows on Wednesday, is there? Oh, jeez.
Well, then I may have to keep it Thursday then.
Yeah, we might have to keep it Thursday. I don't know. We'll research.
Yeah. Because Thursday seems to work out pretty good. And I don't want to compete with the other bigger shows. So we'll figure that out.
Flossie, the link to that is just go to YouTube and search Beaver After Dark. But
careful.
Careful. It's yeah. So we know we call her affectionately. Her name is Angry Beaver, and she does a show, and she just I'm on there with her, but yeah, she'll Amy Jo says she'll think about it for a day and let you know.
Well, hey guys, I just want to let everybody know I've got a live that I do every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central.
Okay.
Oh crap! I'll be there.
Nice. Yeah.
I've got a surprise this week. I've been making boxes. I think for the last 2 weeks, or last week was a box. The last 2 weeks, and I think I turned a mallet the week before. This week will be a little different, but a big
Nice.
YouTuber sent me something like 3 years ago, and I finally opened it. So, wow.
And I just want to say, I should have won the mallet, and I don't know why that was rigged, that somebody else won it, but I'm yeah, look at that. Look at
Mike
that.
was here. The Whacking Shack actually won it.
I know.
Yeah, this is his mallet.
Hashtag rigged. Hashtag rigged. Yeah.
That's Rusty's thing. Whenever Rusty doesn't win, everything is rigged.
It's rigged. That's right.
Well, so speaking of that, before we close out, I know you just promoted, your live. Is there anything else that you want to put out there for everybody? Like when your videos drop, like you've mentioned your live.
I drop videos typically on Saturdays.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll have a new video out Saturday, and
awesome. Because he commented mallet about 200 times, so it wasn't.
There you go. Last breath. See, yeah.
Don't be jealous, Josh.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys don't follow Last Breath Woodworks, that guy's a serious wood turner. I'm just kind of like, he makes some really cool things on the lathe.
Yes, I do follow him. I'm going to double check.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost 100% I follow him. YouTube.
Old Path says he just dropped a short. He dropped his shorts. Nobody wants to see that Old Path. Oh God. Oh no, he meant something else. Okay.
Yes, I am subscribed to Last Breath Woodworks.
Yeah, Josh makes some really cool stuff. A lot of the makers, a lot of the people in these lives, and they all have channels, so support them, help them out.
Absolutely.
So
There's
cool.
a lot of talent.
There is, and I love it. The hardest thing is watching them all. It's because you watch some and then you find somebody else, and it's like, oh my goodness, there's not enough time in the day. So what I find myself doing is while I'm driving between jobs, I will throw YouTube on, set the phone down, and listen to some of the shows.
I've done some of that when I can't watch, but I can listen. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I literally do not watch TV anymore. I am on YouTube every night. I get on my regular TV and I bring up YouTube and I'm watching shows. I'm watching YouTube channels.
Yeah, and
nice.
I find myself watching, especially the last 6 months, I like watching smaller channels,
Yeah.
Especially with the group. I've got a lot more, small channels like myself that I'm following. It's more entertaining and interesting to see what they're making.
Yeah. Yep. Eric Anderson.
What is up?
Hey, Eric.
That's one of our bourbon community folks right there.
Nice.
I'm actually surprised at how many of the bourbon community folks have come over to this channel. It's greatly appreciated, and it's a lot of people that I miss talking to a lot. I've thought about once or twice going live on my bourbon channel because I still have it, but I don't know how it would go over drinking coffee because I don't drink anymore. Neither does Rusty. So that's tough. And Canadian Chris is here. Cool.
Let's not throw that. It's not that I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking like I was. Now I will occasionally have a sip, but I'm not like I was at all.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I haven't drank since September.
well,
So-
I had a sip or two on New Year's and a couple of times, but I'm not. I was pretty bad. When the bourbon community tells you, "Hey, you need to check up, buddy."
We got a call.
We do have a call right here at the end. Caller, state your name, where you're calling from.
Hey, Baldwin, Mississippi.
Baldwin, Mississippi. Who we got?
Oh, Pat.
Old Pat.
Pat.
Alan's back.
Alan is back.
So, Alan, what are you making in the shop this week?
Oh, I'm gonna finish some raised garden beds. I got sign I'm making from Knucklehead. Knuckle busting numbskull. I don't know if y'all know him or not.
Oh yeah, he was in here earlier.
Oh man, sorry I missed it. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm doing in the shop. Hey man, sorry about that earlier. I don't know. It seemed like it was overdubbing and playing in delay or something. I couldn't hear none of y'all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to maybe get with you and we'll figure out where the feedback and stuff was coming from.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought I'd drop in and say hello and maybe even be the last caller for the night. Y'all talking about y'all gonna leave on out of here.
Yeah, we're going to leave out of here in a couple of minutes, but I do want to say something because Daniel was awesome enough. I can't say enough about Bearded Viking. If you have not subscribed to his channel, please do so. And we are going to be ending the show here pretty soon. My Honey's Handmade. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, please go subscribe to it. And any channels that have been linked in the comments. But the Bearded Viking, I believe, went live about 17 minutes ago.
He did.
So here's what I would like you guys to do. Go to Bearded Vikings Live and tell him that DeLand's Handmade Woodworking sent you guys to his live.
There you go.
All right? Kind of take over his chat and just say that I sent you over there. We sent you over there.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everybody being here tonight. It was a good time. I've enjoyed it. Steve, thank you for being here.
Thanks, guys.
When we end the live, hang out for a second because we'll be backstage. But guys, thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Have a good night.
Guys.
Yep. Hang out, Old Path.